So we are live. So we'll just see if anybody is going to join.
Yeah.
I think it's Saturday and it's a funny time of the day. Oh, hi, Seeking.
Hi, King.
Right, okay. So beyond borders. I mean, for me, I've never lived in another country. I've never emigrated. I'm not even much of a traveler anyway. I'm very home loving sort of person. So this is all new to me. I know I've spoken to lots of people that seem to move from country to country. So I guess it's easy if you're like a nomad and you're just getting a visa and then moving on to another country when it runs out. But to actually move from one country to another permanently, I'm somebody that doesn't believe in borders. I think people within reason, because obviously you can only have so many people in one place. But I believe that people should be able to move around as however they want to, as long as they're not criminals and as long as they've got good intentions. I think it should be a lot easier than what it is. I know it's quite difficult to get to the UK now, quite difficult. But yeah, so tell us, because I know nothing. So where do you
Um,
start if you want to emigrate?
this is the reason why I called it Beyond Borders, because I don't believe to stay in the same country is the main purpose. But the idea was started by helping my community back home to immigrate and change their country to chase their dreams. And I called it Beyond Borders because it's um, it's a full path, different than you were before, and gives you another opportunities to go after your objectives. So I start helping them, catching calls with them, and give them the tips and the tricks to at least not having a lawyer, because lawyer these days cost a lot of money,
Yeah.
and I'm not practicing it legally. It's only helping people to see their past like more clearly. That's why it's apart from Rise and Clarity Insider, where we have a solution of the social problems.
Hmm.
So, in my opinion, the main tips that I learned hard way, as usual, alone in back home, my country, that the
So just so
preparation.
people know, your country's Lebanon, isn't it?
Yes, my origin country is Lebanon. Um, the preparation is everything. This is the first tip. You have to prepare 6 to 12 months before you decide to move out. And the preparation will start by collecting your documents, prepare them, organize them, and try to research the new country that you want to go, where you want to be your destination. So every country has different laws, different rules. You don't need lawyers these days. The technology is great. You can access all the information you need. Um, so you have the process inside out through the visa, the permits, the legal documents, the legal requirements. It takes time because the preparation started by have asking questions about the new environment that you want to be there, and they organize your documents as education credentials. There's some equivalence between the your main study and where you go. It depends on you want to go as a student, as a normal immigrant, and especially work experience also as a second document is different from your own country than the destination, because a different culture, different environment. So some countries are not considering, yeah, the work experience as a main effort of your from your personality. Um, and with the documents, I think is the proof of funds is very essential also. Financially, they want the countries wants to know that you can survive and pay your bills, your taxes, at least the first year.
Mm.
Uh, even I think in 2021, when I immigrate to Canada, I don't have a full financial support, but I could, after 3 months, to provide a document that it allows me to cover all my fees, at least for the first semester.
Mm.
Now the preparation changed. They have to pay in prior your semester, and then you travel after that. Because it's not only the immigration is not only about preparing documents, collecting and fix what is called like lacking of knowledge. It's mentally prepared. You have to be mentally prepared. This is apart from preparation because you change your community, you come to a different country, you live maybe alone, you have no clue, especially the first 1 or 2 years, you have no clue about the people that you met there. So different culture, new systems, rules. There's a lot of setbacks, temporary setbacks,
Mm.
because you were thinking that you have a great capabilities, but you start lacking yourself. But it's not the case because it's a different country. So it's very normal to pass in this setbacks and just to learn and try to catch experience from your environment and from your own surroundings. This is the first step. Essential is the preparation is everything in prior.
Mm. Yeah, I imagine the most important thing is to make sure that this is a country you want to go to, because like you say, if you're expecting to move from one country to another, especially a country like Lebanon, moving to a country like Canada, they are quite different. Um, and you need to be sure that you're going to be able to cope with it, I would think, because, then it could be difficult to get back again easily. And people don't want to go back either, do they? They don't want to think that they've failed, so they want to make a go of it. But I know somebody, I was talking to somebody that moved from Romania years ago when it had just stopped being a communist country, and moved to America, and it just blew her mind when she went to a supermarket and thought, how do they have so much food here? It's unbelievable. So it
Yeah.
can be that different, so vastly different.
There's a lot of shocks. You take it positively and negatively when you came to a new country, because you start expecting something like you used to live in your country with different tradition, different practices every day, and then you see like totally diversity and totally different culture. So you start like, wow, I have to accept this and go on. It's crazy how you can test your patient, test your capabilities, test your knowledge. This is, I think, leads us to the second point that is very important,
Hmm.
is to build a support system early before you came in prayer. It means try to connect with communities, groups, associations, local networks. Lebanese in Canada, as an example,
Mm.
friends that they are already in Canada. This helps you a lot. People gives you tips, and they're learn from own mistakes, so they give you the best decisions that they made. And this is save you time, it saves you struggle, and it's good because you build a great relationship for your next plan and for next move, and you will have a great friendship as a community, as a group support. And this is what I was trying to do my whole 3 years now. I helped a family move from Lebanon. It's a full family with 3 kids to
Oh,
come to Canada. I was like, wow, I
yeah.
did that because it's only they need lawyer after that, but I gave them the main tips,
Mm.
and they take this into consideration. And I was happy to having them here, and I went and I saw them.
Oh,
This is reduced their isolation also. It's not
yeah.
about staying with the kids and with the family, and boost their confidence. And my friends start working, and even uh, the wife start working, and they've been like here 2 years now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the second important point, is to build a support system early. This is
Yeah.
very, very important
Which I
because
guess with the internet and social media, that again is a lot easier than it would have been years ago.
yeah, yeah, but social media and internet is not helping you to stay away from isolation. You have to build
No.
your own surroundings, your own
Yeah.
social life,
Yes. Yeah.
especially your background as a Lebanese, or and like the countries that they consider community and family as a support system, and as their tradition to help each other as a sisters, brothers, and any kind of groups. So we built in a way that we appreciate our friends, our friendship, and when you came here, you start feeling like you're living alone,
Mm.
and the shift between being so dependent on people and try to be independent and test yourself, it takes time. So this transition uh, costs you a lot of time, a lot of patience, and like people have to understand your journey in a way, to adapt with you quickly. It means like to understand you and be in
Yeah.
your shoes one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
So
you've prepared, you've got there, you've got a community. Then what else you need to do?
uh, like the third point in my opinion is stay adaptable and
Mm.
patient,
Mm.
because as we said, immigration is a straight path. It's uh, you have delays, you have rejections, you have surprises from the experience, from the profession, from your career path, uh, the different environments. So you have to stay flexible with your plans. You have to take the setbacks in a way to learn and to move on, to plan for a long term also, uh, starting maybe as a student as a part-time job, to know the diversity in your job, to see your like different people, how they react, how they work, at least. So you learn from them, the rules, the taxes, because there's no taxes, as an example, in Lebanon. Uh, there's a percentage of tax, but it's different, totally different than
Mm.
Canada. And in UK, I believe the same. They have different laws.
Yeah.
So I think that the barrier also that the people struggle with is the language.
Yeah.
So you have to prepare uh, language in a way uh, to have it step by step, embrace the wins of the language. It means if you go out and try to communicate, here in Canada, there's some provinces that talk in French. So you
Mm.
have to practice to start learning. So I think this concept and this subject is very important to let people know that you can do it by yourself, and especially if they struggle financially, don't pay for the lawyers, and just ask the right question. And yeah, they add, like, your knowledge and your thoughts, it adds up faster than you think. It means your experience in the destination country, it goes faster than you think. And I think they can do it without even legally, you know legal help.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because lawyers just charge so much money. And like you say, quite often you can look it up yourself if you're prepared to put the work in. and start early, like you say. But is it best to learn the language before you go, or
Y-
just really, so you need to know like a basic?
Uh, Even if you know the basics, it's better to learn it before, in prior, even 1 or 2 years before you come.
Okay.
Check the province, the country, what are the main languages they speak, and uh, like as I said, immigration is not only paperwork; it's
Mm,
a mental process.
mm.
It's it's very nice when you see how far you've become after 6 or 5 years being in the country, that they take you into consideration your education, your career. Uh, Really, it's beyond borders. That's why the name suits a lot. And
Yeah,
yeah, especially when you start learning and having different communities. As an example, it's not only Lebanese. You met people from England. You met people from Europe, and because here in Canada, especially, the immigrants are having communities. As an example, in this city, like the English people are located there, and then
yeah,
you go to another city. It's very nice because you have this diversity and you start interaction with them.
yeah. Very similar in the UK as well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And in a coffee shop, as an example, you see different people, you have to interact with them.
Hmm.
So it's a full process that it takes time, it takes patience, and slightly like some skills that you can learn and you can build on it to
Yeah.
achieve. So in my coaching program, how I help people is to take their situation into consideration, take some notes what they have as education, work experience, and try to do them the research, and uh, try to find their program, their best program to submit their application through. As an example, if we take Canada as their dream destination, we have a program called Express Entry. Let's take this as an example, and I take the education, the work experience, and try to find their best program. So I contact them through call, by call, or meet them, and then telling them what's their best choices, do some research, and in that way give them the tips and the tricks of my own experience, which is helping them also to find their way. And also I helped students, because students have their different education level. So I do research for 5 to 7 universities,
Okay.
and access their portal, and try to find them their best program. My friend, I helped him to find the education program. He's trying to learn French, and once he wants to come here to learn also English, and to do an English teacher after. So I gave him 4 to 7 universities to submit their application, because you cannot base your application on one university only. It's not only one choice. So I gave him 7 universities, more than 15 programs he can submit, and then I told him, you have to do that, and this is the cost and the tuition fees, and you can come as a student to work full time for 20 hours. So you have to take the information into consideration, and just
Yeah.
organize them and tell people what they need, because even some people, they know they want to immigrate, but they don't know how to research even, or how to find their jobs, or where to go with which website, and uh, which
Yeah.
website and which university to choose. And especially mentally, they are not prepared at all. So working on mental part, and the preparation part.
Yeah, because it would be very easy to get overwhelmed, especially I imagine some of the forms are quite hefty. And if you're not used to filling forms out and you think, oh my God, I'm just going to give up.
Yeah, that's why they pay the money for the lawyers,
Yeah,
and he will do the job. And uh, I'm not against lawyers for sure, but they have their own tricks, and the roads that it leads to take the visa faster,
mhm,
and practice it legally on behalf of the
yeah,
representative.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
they will be their own representative.
yeah,
But for me, as a personal experience, I shared my personal stories through Beyond Borders on Substack. So I learned the hard way to catch and to research for the right information, which is
yeah,
it takes these as my fuel, like
yeah.
my fuel to continue.
Brilliant.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a great subject to discuss, and this, yeah,
Yeah, because people do want to move, and I think it is getting harder and harder. It's getting harder and harder because countries are like closing down they will let in now. But also, it's getting easier as well because there's so much, like you say, you can do online and do yourself. So it's kind of, but you need to be structured and know what you're doing, and that's where your program can help people, I think.
yeah, we go in this program. We go to prepare the documents and the practical ways, and we go mentally to prepare ourselves with the people that immigrate, how they can do mentally to just prepare themselves and come, uh, just to know what they expect. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Like when they come, I will tell them what to expect in the different
yeah,
countries even.
yeah.
So I was I was contacting by a woman from Pakistan. She lived in the US, but her husband staying in Pakistan. So I helped him to move out from Pakistan to the US
Oh,
in a
good.
different form of visas. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was surprised because yeah, I can do that. Just helping people to meet each other, especially as a family. There's
yeah.
a lot of families. The guy left the country to work, and then he left his family back home, and he will try to catch his family or to send them back to his destination.
Mm.
So it's very helpful, like added value to the people that they want to immigrate.
Yeah. No, you're doing a brilliant job there. Really good. Are there some countries that are easier to get to than others? What would you say the easiest
Uh,
country was?
the easiest is Canada. It's been in easiest countries recently. Now there's like changing rules sometime, like recently. Uh, they changing some rules, and then Australia, um, and then you can access Europe. You have Germany, you have France. France
Mm.
is one of the, especially for the Lebanese, you can go as a student, do 1 or 2 years as education, and start working, searching for a job. And there's a lot of Lebanese community in France.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm talking about the Lebanese community because I have experience to help Lebanese, and
Yeah.
then different and different countries also, but different population. But Canada, Australia, France, Germany, these the main countries that you can access it easier than the others. Sweden are like more complex,
Mm.
but you can have it if you have to learn the language, as an example. Like in Sweden it's different.
Mm.
What else? It depends on where they're gonna stay, or where they're gonna travel. England
Yeah.
is getting harder.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's getting
Yeah.
harder these days. I don't know if you have an idea about it, like in UK.
Um, I know that it's easier to get in if you're something like a health worker,
Mm,
or care worker, because our NHS were always short of care workers and health workers. But we're on a point system now, I think, like Australia. So if you like meet the criteria, it's easier to get in. I don't know an awful lot about it, but I get the impression it's quite difficult now. I think it's easier for students because a lot the universities want the students, they want the money, they want the income. So the students are it's quite easy to get in, but only like while you're doing your course, and then you'd have to apply to stay. But it's harder now to bring your family with you. So
Yeah,
if say a married man wanted to go to study in England, um, and bring his family over, last year it would have been a lot easier than this year.
yeah, and it takes time. The thing is, it
Yes.
takes time. The people think that it's gonna be like in 1 year, but it takes time. Like more than 5, 6 times, I was trying to travel from Lebanon to quit the
Yeah.
country. 6 times, imagine.
Yeah.
6 years of
Just keep going. Yeah.
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 So
I guess that's another tip, isn't it, in itself? Like, don't give up at the first hurdle. If you get rejected, just find out what you need to do and get on and do it and
yeah,
just keep
this
trying
is
and
the
you'll get
link.
there.
Yeah, yeah, this is the link between Beyond Borders and the main added value of Rise and Clarity Insider newsletter. So
Yeah.
helping people overcome their social problems, and within, like, the many services that I offer, and one section is Beyond Borders, specialized for immigrants and students, especially students, because it's much easier to come and study. As you said, they need to pay money from for the institution that they want to learn there, and start the path from being a student to work, and then move on after.
Yeah. And you're quite happy to work with anybody. So I guess if somebody's watching this and thinking, well, yeah, I do want to move countries and I don't know what I'm doing, then subscribing to you and perhaps getting in touch with you would be a really good
Yes,
start.
even they can schedule a call with me, like on my
Yeah.
links,
Yeah.
and I can provide him the link and ask him some question by email, and we can go from there.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. And I don't know if anybody watching, there's 16 people viewing at the moment. If anybody has any questions or if anybody is thinking of emigrating in the near future. So
Yeah,
if you
collect
do,
questions.
just pop your question in the chat if you want to. But yeah, this has been extremely useful and extremely interesting for me. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. But it's really useful to know.
Yeah,
Um,
and you will be surprised after the full process, how you, as I said, you overcome uh, the barrier, and you go beyond borders, and especially with your capabilities, you
mm,
start testing your efforts in the world of the job, your career, and as a student in the university, uh, and in the society also. So you're
mm,
testing yourself in a different level.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, and that's a great boost to confidence in itself, isn't it? If you can get through that. The other question I was going to ask before we finish off is, um, if so, say I'm in Lebanon and I'm a doctor, I'm a trained doctor, I've got all my qualifications, I'm practicing in a hospital, but I want to get out because of the trouble in Lebanon and I want to move to Canada. Would that qualification, is it portable or do I then need to retake my qualifications? So can I just get into Canada and carry on being a doctor there?
there's some educational credential you can submit your work experience, your education, and do the educational credential. It means the equivalence, the equivalence between Lebanon and Canada. As an example, if you take your master's, it means a bachelor degree in Canada.
Right.
So you count your experience and your education, and you start to see which should be equal in Canada. So there's a program as like credential, and 2, 3 programs You can put your application and process it, and then you see how it's equivalent to Canada. So um, there's different program they test this, and then as a doctor they take into consideration for sure your education and your experience. If you have 6 years experience in Lebanon, maybe they take it as a 2 3 years in Canada. It depends on your situation, but there's a credential and there's a equivalence. They test this.
Okay.
So it's not they don't ignore everything. It's it's a measurable. It's a
Yeah.
trackable. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they've just got to check that what you are able to do in Lebanon, you like the practices match up. So there's no like practice you've got in Lebanon that you can't do in Canada or something like that. I guess they just have to work through it.
Yeah, for me, I've done my master's in Lebanon in finance,
Hmm.
um, like 3 years a bachelor and 2 years a master's degree. And when I submit my master's grades and my experience to Canada, they do the equivalence of they take into consideration 3 years of my bachelor. They take it as into consideration, and then for 2 years, instead of doing more 2 years for masters, I take it in 1 year and 3 months, which is they
Right.
take 2 or 3 courses into consideration. And this is easier for me, not spending 2 years in the uh, learning and in the university. And when I finish my master's degree, as the program, it was 3 years full program, but
Right.
I take my master's in 1 year and 3 months, and they give me after the student, they give me an open work permit for 3 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this is keeps you in the country and you work
Yeah.
full time with any employer you want. Sorry, and then after the work permit, I submitted my permanent resident, which is allows you to stay permanent in the country, and you have the medical benefits and a different level of benefits from the government when you take the permanent resident, and the path continue to have the citizenship after that.
Right.
So yeah, it's a long process, but the benefit was based when you came as a student, you learn how to interact as a team, as an individual in the university. You learn different diversities and the culture that you met, and then you go to the work environment and you have the same. So you start learning the
Yeah.
process, and it's much easier to go in the job environment
Yeah. Yeah.
as a student. Yeah, and then during your path you catch the permanent resident, which allows you to open a new opportunities in the career,
Brilliant.
especially with the jobs like 9 to 5 and whatever. So you take this into consideration because you learn quickly and then you adapt. That's
Mm.
the concept. You adapt quickly, much than you think, and then you take the permanent resident. You be one day citizenship as a Canadian, and that's like have another level of benefits too.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you are a like a proper Canadian.
Yes, correct.
This has been brilliant. Thank you so much for explaining it all to us. And you know, you're doing a great job. And if anybody is interested in moving countries at any time, to get in touch with you, and you'll just go through the um, the necessities that you need.
Yeah, it's a preparation. It's some of research, but as I said, you can do that as an individual,
Yeah.
asking the right questions, and it's not only just paperwork. It's a building a new life with patience, preparation, and full heart of efforts and positivity.
Yeah. 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 A whole new life. But you got to do it
Yeah,
step by step, like you say. Don't rush into it. Just take your time and think about it, make sure you're doing the right thing, and then just follow it through step by step, just like ticking all your boxes as you go. And
yeah,
then before you know it, you're moved countries, you're a citizen, you're living the life that you dreamt of. So
Yeah,
perfect.
and I don't want people to suffer as much
No.
as I suffer, so I was telling them my advices, and
Mm,
which is it's very nice to see uh, I was adding value to the people and let people meet each
definitely add
other
value.
as a family, as a students, let people just quit and find their own dream destination country.
Mm.
So why not? Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. Why not live where you want to live? Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and thank you
thank
everybody
you.
that's here. And yeah, I'll probably put the replay up tomorrow now. So I've got something to do now. So yeah, and I'll speak to you soon, Alan. It's lovely talking to you again.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having me.
you. Thank you, and
Thank
bye
you.
bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.